I'm going to say Oedipus by Sophocles. I'm going to bang this thing 4 times. Then I'm going to say enter king and queen. Queen is gray hair. You go sit in a chair. King is mask and tie. One or the other. Let's go with you first. Well, you're recording, so who's the other mask? There you go. You guys go to the chair. Ready? Oedipus by Sophocles. Enter the king and queen. Sit in the chair. Sit in the chair. Nice. Sit in the chair. A round of applause, please. Once upon a time, there was a good and wise king. Masked man, if you could turn around and wave to us. His citizens all loved him. A round of applause, please, for the good king. And he was married to a young and sexy wife, much younger than he was. Could you give us a wave, please? Together, the king and the queen. King, if you could go join your queen. We're good and wise rulers who love one another. If you gentlemen can find it in your hearts to hold one another's hands. And everybody applaud for the king and queen. The only problem was with their age disparity. The king was having trouble begetting a child to his queen. And though they tried, and they tried, and they tried, the queen remained without an heir to the throne. Until one day the king looked up at the sky and he said, "O ye gods!
Oh, ye gods!
Please!
Please!
Grant me the fertility!
Grant me the fertility!
To make a son!
To make a son!
To leave!
To leave!
My kingdom!
My kingdom!
In his hand!
In his hand!
And sure enough,
And sure
that, no. Overeager. And sure enough, that night, the queen conceived a child. And 9 months later, in the throes of delivery pains, and lo, a son was born to her. Queen, scream! 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 And pick your baby up and hold him in your lap. The queen herself, with her own teeth, severed the umbilical cord that tied her to her son. You could bite his belly button eventually, good. And then the babe quickly began to suckle upon her breast. There you go. Or nosh her armpit, whichever. The king was overjoyed. Do a little Lucky Charms dance. And he went and he got his noble steed, the horse you see there. And he rode out into the wilderness, and you could ride that horse. Good. And he went, you see the light socket at the front of the stage? He went there. He went to the oracle. It's where this fire comes shooting out of the ground. It's like a volcano. The Greeks believe it's the voice of God. And he knelt down in front of the fire. Get off your horse. And he said this, "Oh gods.
Oh, gods.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
For granting my wish.
For granting my wish.
And if it isn't pushing it,
And if it is pushing it,
could you just tell me
can you just tell me
what kind of man the boy will grow into?
what kind of man the boy will grow into?
Will he be good and wise like me?
Would he be good and wise like me?
I'm such an old man.
I'm such an old
I
man.
don't have long to live in this world.
I don't have long to live into this world.
Please tell me
Please tell me
how my kingdom will be
how my kingdom will
under
be
his rule.
under his rule.
What kind of man will he be?
What kind of man will he
And
be?
he listened, and there was no answer. And he looked up and said, "Gods."
Gods?
And he straightened up and he said, "Gods."
Gods?
And then he screamed, "Gods!"
Gods!
And he threw up his fist and he said, "Gods!
Gods!
Answer me!
Answer
me!
Answer
Answer me!" And a voice from on high said, "He will kill his father and screw his mother." The king was amazed. He was devastated. How could this be that the gods would give him such a thing and then take it away so fickly? He got back on his horse, but when he rode back now, he was sad. The horse barely trotted along. And then when he dismounted from the horse, and he could park that horse by the wall, he entered the bedchamber and he saw that the baby had fallen asleep with his lips still clasped around his mother's teat. And the father walked over with a bitter piece of twine and he twisted it around the baby's feet. Pretend you're tying his feet like I did. I wanted to spare you that. And the baby woke up and said, and the father went over and put his hands over the baby's mouth so as not to wake the mother up. And he said, I'm sorry to have to do this, son. I'm sorry I have to do this, son. But I can't let the prophecy be fulfilled. And he picked the baby up in his arms, if you could scoop him up like a honeymoon bride. And he walked with the baby out into the wilderness as the queen went and took her seat. Wilderness is the center of the stage. And he laid the baby down. Queen, you can go take a seat. And the baby was squalling like a baby would. Cried. 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 And the father went and he jumped on his feet once. Twice. 3 times. And he said, I'm sorry to have to do this, son.
I'm sorry I have to do this, son.
And he bent over and he twisted the baby and he pinched him so hard that the baby screamed out. And the father said, keep screaming.
Keep screaming.
It will hasten your doom.
It will hasten your doom.
And the father walked away. And the baby continued to scream. And just as the father had planned, it was those same screams that caught the attention of a nearby wolf. Who crept slowly out of darkness and stood by that desk there. And Oedipus, look up and see the wolf that's about to eat you and flip out. Good. And meanwhile, the wolf moves in for the kill. Are we ready? And rum bum 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 rum bum 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 rum bum 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 rum bum 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 bum. Fall to your knees, wolf. Sniff that baby from chin to crotch. Rub your paws together. This is going to be some good eating. And then suddenly rear up because you see that his feet are already bleeding. What does a wolf like better than raw meat? And he goes to the feet and he picks them up and he starts consuming his feet. Eat his feet. Oedipus, you're a baby. You're being eaten by a wolf. Scream! 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 The baby screams. Attract the attention of a nearby shepherd. Purple robe. Quickly. And shepherd, wait, if you can go back up on the steps here. And spring in like a superhero. Ready, set, go.
Get out of here!
Nice. I like that. Wolf, stand up. Shepherd at the feet, wolf at the head. And look at one another. Stand at the head of me. And shepherd say this. Wolf.
Wolf!
Stop this!
Stop this!
Go away!
Go away!
For I am here to protect this innocent baby.
For I am here to protect this innocent baby.
And suddenly, they begin to slowly circle one another. Wolf, if you could say this. The shepherd said, Wolf,
Wolf!
go away!
Go away!
I am the protector of this baby.
I'm the protector of
And
this
Wolf,
baby.
if you could say, stop. Shepherd, throw down your staff. Wolf, leap upon the shepherd.
What?
Fall to the ground, the two of you.
Okay.
And roll over one another, fighting until the death. Baby, scream. Finally, the wolf is on his back. The shepherd picks up his staff and 3 times stab him in the stomach. Ready, hit the ground behind him. Wolf respond. He stabs him once. He stabs him twice. He stabs him 3 times. Wolf howl and crawl off and be dead. Shepherd, put down your staff. Go up to the crying baby, whose feet have been now tied and consumed, and lift that baby up in your arms. And shepherd, say this. You poor innocent.
You poor innocent.
I will teach you to my king and queen,
I will teach you
who
to
long for a child.
What?
Who long for a child.
Who long for a child.
And everybody in the audience is thinking, oh, he's going to take them back to his father and his mother. But no! Because he has another king and queen in mind, and he comes this way as a red-headed queen and her husband get up and sit on the edge of that desk.